Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the LAS Grand Tournament semifinals between the Boosted Bonobos and Boosted Bonobos Academy. Currently, we are having some slight issues setting up the lobby, but we will try and get those issues rectified as soon as possible so we can get into the game. My name is Stripes. I am not alone in this cast. I am joined by Caster Rav himself. No, hold on. I apologize. We are currently working on some issues for some reason. This is something common that happens with me with Streamlabs where it doesn't actually pick up Discord for some reason, so you cannot hear Kastarev. So give me one moment and I can rectify that. Try talking now, Rav. Oh, wait, hold on. There we go. Indeed. Indeed. It is going to be the remember, this is a best of 3 series. The Bonobos did get side selection as they were the winners of their group, and they just elected to go with blue side for this one, while the Academy team is on the red. So, we are all ready to get into Champ Select. Here we go. We got the Boosted Bonobos versus their Academy team. Things are going to be hyped. And already we see a Katarina ban. Very, very interesting to see that one banned away so early on. No cure for fools. Indeed she is. I actually got my first S with Cat today. Keynote, Cat is really good into Zoe if you can dodge her E's. Because then you can all in her and just go gone. Something that does surprise me is the Udyr ban. BB is going for a lot of focus towards that mid lane, but one thrown to the jungle with the Udyr. Kind of surprising in my eyes. Hold on. There we go. Impure fools. I am very excited myself. I did not have the best experience with ranked games. Some of them were very close games where I lost. Some of them were games where I just hard carried. And other games, really not much you can do. I heard a saying, you always win a third of your games, you always lose a third of your games, and there's a third of the games that you can control. And it's always that third of games you want to watch out for. And something I also want to watch out for, Aatrox. Aatrox is busted, ladies and gentlemen. That is right. Aatrox is so busted. Especially with Gore Drinker on him and the E and his passive healing from his E. I literally seen an Aatrox with Gore Drinker use Gore Drinker at a quarter health and get back up the full while ulting. Indeed, and they are going to go with the Oriana, right? Looks like they're going right down the LCS, the professional order, top jungle mid, leaving that bot duo open. Meanwhile, on the side of the main team, they went for that bot lane early with the power pick with the Kai'Sa and went for a more defensive option with the Braum. I would really love to see Nautilus come back, because Nautilus is a really, really good pick for Kai'Sa, because you just gotta stack that passive. Leon is also really good, and we have some very interesting bans coming out right now as well.
I do not tolerate cowardice. Draven out.
Indeed. So don't be surprised if we see some matchups we wouldn't normally see in another game where you're too uncertain. So far, a lot of these bans are pretty standard. Draven, a very feast or famine playstyle, can punish that Kai'Sa early on. Ezreal, always a safe pick. But they are going to go with the Caitlyn on the Academy team. Very interesting pick. Caitlyn, not as broken as before, but I really thought Jhin would have been a much better pick here. Ooh. Oh, Mal fight support. Yes. Okay, so I do agree with you. I don't like the Yone pick. I don't like it in the terms of the team composition, because there is so much AD on your team already. You don't have really any source of AP. So it can just be very, very interesting when it comes to those team fights. However, something I do like is, so Yone did get a change along with Yasuo in the recent patch. They upped the amount of crit that you gain from items from 100% bonus to 150% bonus. So now you're back to that 2 crit items and you're already at 100%. And anything over will give you some bonus to your AD. There is a build that I've been meaning to try, and I've been trying it as best as I can. I haven't had a good game with it. You go Bloodthirster, Triforce, into IE as Yone. What are your thoughts on that, Rav?
I don't think people can hear me on stream. Panzer's saying that I'm not being picked up right now. So I'm not sure on that one.
I'll see if I can fix that issue for the meantime. So keep talking, Rav, so I can.
Oh, all right. Now they can hear.
Now they can hear? Okay.
All right. We have liftoff. We have multiple parties casting this game for you all. Stripes, 2 T's, or is that 3 T's? I have to ask.
It is 2 T's. Technically,
2 T's.
Okay.
All right.
So, I think I figured out what the issue was. I think I know what the issue was. I didn't add the right capture to that scene yet. I will fix that right now. The scene we are currently on has the audio capture. I apologize. issues
Good.
because I don't know what. I really don't know what Streamlabs is doing to me.
I tell you what, Stripes, okay? I'm looking at this Oriana Malphite comp, and I'm thinking, I know what they want to do.
I'm thinking I know what they want to do as well because Malphite ult into Oriana ult into Aatrox Qs can do some serious damage and just wipe a team composition. This is not a team you want to group up against at all. Not to mention, Aatrox does have a little bit of more, is a bit more favorited in this matchup because, yes, Jax has a form of easy to apply hard CC, but at the same time, Jax's E does not block Aatrox Qs. So Aatrox still has that valuable tool to trade while Jax is trying to block all of these auto attacks. Unlike a matchup like Fiora or Aurelia or something like that.
Really does seem like a matchup that you have to be a little bit more skilled as the Jax player if you're going to play aggressive. Aatrox player kind of has a little bit more free will to mash Q and try to do as much damage and knock Jax out of lane. With Jax trying to sustain that pressure, pick up as much CS as possible, and hit some of these item breakpoints where you can really help your team. And if you can one-on-one the Aatrox in the middle of the lane, hey, you're already doing well on the top side of the map. Like, don't worry about it. If you're winning the bot side, well, you pretty much got that game as well. But really, really excited to be here. Grand tournament, semifinals. We're in the knockout stage, best of threes, and we're winding up our season 1 here, Stripes. This is monumental, isn't it?
It very much is. We are so happy to bring you this and bring it to you guys. I'm trying to fix everything, make it all ready. I am currently running a one-man show right now, but we do this all for you guys, so you guys can enjoy these games as much as we do watching. So, looking into these team compositions and some of their rune choices, gotta see a Red King coming out of Bambino here.
I have to swing back to something that just popped up in chat, and which I was agreeing. And damn, the stream looks good with those character models in the last scene there. Wow, that was gorgeous. It's a nice setup there.
Indeed, it does.
We have Dione to thanks for that, don't we? Right?
Yes, Dione, Ruhe, however you want to call her, she is fantastic with all of this stuff. So give a big thanks to her. She is great. So here are some things to keep in mind in these matchups going into it. There are 2 champions on the Rift that don't rely on any form of resource. That would be Aatrox and Dione. So with those, you got to be very, very mindful because now the other person has to rely on mana. You have to manage your mana a bit better because health is the only resource that person has to go with. If that makes
I got a rhetorical question, Stripes. What do you think is cheaper to do, a ranged top laner or a manaless top laner? Who do you think is the smallest PP of the bunch? What would you say?
I would have to say, well, it depends on the ranged top laner. If you're picking someone like Kennen, that's fair. But if you're picking someone like I don't know, Vayne, Quinn, Lucian, yeah, you're kind of asking for it unless it's like a pro game, something important or whatever, then it's a little bit more reasonable. But I think the smallest has got to be Teemo. Come on. It's got to be Teemo.
You know what? He's hated, but I tell you who's taken over is Yuumi. Definitely the most hated champion in the game now, and that is something amazing. Riot, you got to hand it to Riot. They made a champion that people hated more than Teemo. And wasn't Teemo a release champion? He's been here since the beginning.
Yes, he was a release champion.
I gotta say, I gotta give compliments to Riot about something here, and you know, it's not about innovative gameplay or keeping the game fresh, or about really leveraging the esports side of the business, bringing in all that VC NBA money and legitimizing in the professional sports world. No, 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 no. This is what I'm talking about.
Here, so I do want to go back to some of the rune choices. Like I said, we do have probably a red cane going Conqueror instead of Dark Harvest. And we already had an early gank going up on the top lane, but he just jumps right out of it. No orbs to be, well, a few orbs to be collected from Kayn. Remember, Kayn needs to fight to get his form. Doesn't necessarily need to gank. He gets blue orbs for ranged champions and red orbs for melee ones. Red Kayn is a bit more tanky, while blue Kayn is the Shadow Assassin form. It allows you to quickly one-shot the backline if you can land your skill shots.
I'm not a big Kayn player, but to my knowledge, you're trying to get your form as quickly as possible, and that's a real power spike, and that's when you really open up and start.
You don't want to be like Spica in the first game of Spring Split, 20-minute form, and the game was already lost at that point.
I mean, I could do that. Okay, but like
some of the earliest forms I've gotten on Kayn was less than 10 minutes.
Oh,
and that's like a lot of skirmishes in the jungle, some really good ganks, some extended fights to hit those abilities, get those orbs, and then I'm just like, ooh, I have a form right now.
All right, well, let's take a look at the form of the game here. We have a bottom lane going pretty even. Caitlyn's starting to push up. That lane really is going to get a lot stronger once Malphite hits level 6. Not necessarily for Caitlyn's level 6, but Malphite, of course, gets that boost. But here we're seeing Jax go in with the counter-strike, but the counter-strike's out. So Aatrox is able to bang on him just a little bit, but the lane's pushed up. Both junglers still farming. Lane, you're seeing the advantage for Dione. 10 CS, go ahead, Strife, but you are seeing some leads being formed.
You are seeing some leads being formed, and that right there in the top lane, we saw the Aatrox able to use his abilities still to get some damage on, and we got a gank coming out in the bot lane, and exhaust coming out onto the Kindred, but there's a lot of damage onto the Malphite, forced to flash away. Heal is being used by the Caitlyn, and that will be 3 summoners to 0 down in the bot lane. Meanwhile, Jax is going in on the top lane, just a little bit of a trade. Both champions are at half health.
Very smart to be taking this. He's a level up, so this, yes, levels are even. If minions are even, Aatrox is supposed to be a little stronger. As we have first blood going down,
we have first blood
damage.
Yes, we do have first blood in the bot lane. Sorry, I thought there was going to be first blood in the top lane instead. Sorry, stream, but it was that damage done early on by the gank that allowed the Malphite to get into that kill range and allow Kai'Sa to just pick up the kill at the end.
So this Dragon's a little bit risky here. I just have to interject. They don't know that Kayn is unable to contest. They don't have vision. So this is a little bit of a risky play here from the main team, but it's going to pay off for them. I just have to highlight that when you take these early jungle objectives, and if you don't have vision, if you don't have your lanes pushed up with full knowledge of where the jungler is, it can be a little dangerous, but it can pay off for you big. And they not only have first blood, but a first dragon to boot. And the only thing the Academy really has is a nice little lead in the top lane in the jungle. So a little advantage for the Academy in the top side of the map. So let's see if they lean towards where they're strong, or if they try to help out this Malphite when he hits level 6 here on the bot lane and really try to establish control with the Malphite dogs.
Indeed.
A couple ways you can play it.
This Caitlyn lane is working to perfection. With Caitlyn, you don't really want to set up for ganks. You want to try and push in. You want to try and get these plays. Maybe set up for dives. Flash is going in and trying to collapse on the Kindred, but nothing's going to come out of it. Just a flash coming out of the Caitlyn and from the Braum to save her.
Flash by Caitlyn, but tried to make the play work and finish it off with the Q. Didn't end up paying for it, so took a little bit of a chance, and let's see if she ends up paying. But early damage here from Dione. He's gonna be able to heal up with these fruit. Malphite level 4 wants to get back into lane.
Kaisa
soaking
is
up that
picking up
XP.
that noon quiver, already an item ahead because of being able to back. Caitlyn is not going to be that far behind, however, as she is backing currently. Both have similar CS. And you can see with that extra kill that Kaisa now has a longsword and boots. Without that kill, she's just walking back to either to one or the other. As you can see over on the Caitlyn is only walking back with the noon quiver and boots. No extra longsword for damage. Some other things to keep in mind is the Kaisa is that Ulu on the Kaisa did start with tier, so Monomune is probably going to be the second item considering that noon quiver did get picked up.
Seems to be a little bit of a lull in the game. Could we just have a quick peek over into how the gold is looking, just while we have a little bit of time as we're getting to the midpoint of laning phase, and where we could see the leads? Well, it's just really mostly with the 80 carry, where that first blood went in here in Uyu, over there in the bot lane on Kaisa.
Oh dear God! Don't say it like that ever again.
Oh, hey.
But
lucky. Maybe
but you are right. A lot of that gold is down over to the Kaisa. 400 of it to be exact. There is a little bit of a CS lead, which is giving more gold over to the Dione instead of the Orianna. But looking in the jungle and the top lane, a very slight gold lead over to the Academy team. So gotta keep. So it's very important where this gold is going. There are plenty of games where it might seem you're down 2,000 gold, but at the same time someone on your team, a hyper carry, a Kale for example, is super fed 4 items, most gold in the entire game, and you're not actually that far behind. So gold can be deceiving. It's all about where it goes.
Okay, there's a really key moment that's going to be happening here in the bot lane. In just a few moments, Braum is going to hit level 6, and Malphite just hit level 5, so is not close. So there's going to be a moment where the boosted Bonobos are going to have a double ult here in bot lane versus a single. We're having a collapse now. It's a 4-on-2, and Malphite was always going to be gone there. Just kind of went into the bush and felt like he didn't deserve to go back out into the river and just stayed up against the wall like that. Just
got caught out in the in the river, warding for vision. Did not know that the Kindred was there along with the Yone. So he ended up just biting the bullet, didn't have his ult to get away, so he's just going to die there. 2 deaths early on for the Malphite and 2 kills over to the Kaisa.
You know what I'd liken it? I'd liken it to walking into your parents maybe in a mid-coital act.
Oh,
like,
God.
It's like you're never going to not see that one.
Oh, God.
You're going to remember it, and you're going to feel something physically maybe for the next little while, but you'll get over it. You shake it off. You realize, it's just the birds and the bees.
Now, I will take this away from the lanes just a little bit. Something I want to look over to. How many marks does Kindred have? We're at 10 minutes. It's going to be a lot slower getting her marks. Kindred currently has 3 marks. It's really when she hits 4 is when she really comes online as a champion. Because with 4, you get that standard marksman range. You get hit 575. You're able to do a lot more, or from a lot farther. And you really got to watch your marks. This is a tip for all Kindred players. No matter what you're building, marks are always important. They buff your E, they buff your Q, they buff your attack range. It helps all across the board, and you want to get as many as possible.
I'll tell you what looks like it's going to be important is the setup for the next dragon fight. You're seeing Lofton coming in here, fighting for vision, going ahead and soaking up this damage. But we're having Malphite get a little bit of damage onto the Kindred, who's going to go ahead and clear vision. But the Malphite's going to go ahead and ult in, and is going to be able to start tanking up. But we're going to have the Jax going to be able to get in with a massive counter strike onto 3 of them, and he is just buffed and wild right up into the Orianna.
But ults are going to
get ahead.
Alter flying in left, right, and center. Shockwave missed completely. Kindred ult to save lives. Kane tried to get the Brahmin, did get it in the end, but right now the Jax is following the Aatrox and is looking so grim for him. Bambino is in a fight he does not want to take. He is in a position he does not want to be in. Kindred flashes away, and Vincent will get the final kill. And it looks like the Boosted Bonobos main team is going to get the second drag of the game.
The lead that's really taken a hold is Vincent in mid lane on the Dione, going as a melee into the range matchup and just being able to consistently push in Orianna has opened up a massive CS lead. Hasn't gotten any turret plates yet, but it looks like the Dione pick, that last pick for the Boosted Bonobos, was a good one. And here, all kinds of damage onto Ori, who can't take too much damage even with that shield.
Yeah, you can't. That shield is very helpful when you're trading. It's a really good short trade tool because it can block some of that poke damage, especially from an Orianna, whose poke really doesn't come from her auto attacks. But be mindful of that passive though. That passive can actually do a lot. I did have a game where I screwed up my runes. Because I played Kai'Sa the game before, went over to mid lane, played Orianna, and had Hail of Blades. But that passive can hurt if you get quite a few auto attacks on there, adding more magic damage for consecutive hits on target. But with a 30 CS deficit, she is still really far behind against a Dione that also has a kill.
Do you think Power of Evil here would go ahead and build Nashor's Tooth? He just might go ahead, right? You know, boost, get that shield.
I've built Nashor's Tooth on her quite a bit. Malphite almost taken down for a 4th time. This is where Malphite really gets punished, because other than his ultimate, he really doesn't have any engage or peel tools. He really only has his Q slow and that ultimate. And when you're in organized play like this, it really can get played around perfectly. Oh, but we have some key things coming online. We have the first mythic of the game, and it's going to be Jax's Triforce.
That's quite large and in charge there in the top lane. Even though Aatrox is going and pushing turret, well, he's not getting any turret plates, but getting turret damage. That item for Jax is going to mean he can trade now with the Aatrox on top. But a big fight here on bottom. Kate is looking to get all kinds of damage on her, and once again, Kai'Sa picking up these kills, just getting everything that she can. Here in the bot lane, Braum not sucking up any of it, and it looks like there's a big issue here on bot, and something I was going to mention with the Malphite as she goes down, but 1 second, we've got Kane who's going to be going in. It's going to be a 3-on-1, and I don't know if you like that in a kind of fighting terms. Maybe that's how you like to watch other types of events, but Ori in the back end just doesn't end. Just one at a time. I kept thinking that fight was going to end, and players just keep funneling in.
Massive trade in the top lane went in favor of Aatrox. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, 3-0, and first tower over to the Bonobos main team. Such trouble, and now Jax is going in right onto the Aatrox and low health with a health advantage, doesn't have his ult available, and he is getting so low, and he will get jumped on and taken down. That's 2-0-1 for the Jax right now in the top lane.
Power of the Trinity Force right there. You can't
Indeed.
do that if you didn't have that item completed, and he knew it and fought, and even under the turret was able to get it done. 1 level up on the Aatrox. Gonna start building an item lead as well.
Now here are where those leads are showing in full force. Look at the items each team has. 5 mythics to nothing. That is something you don't like seeing if you are on the academy team. Caitlyn, not Kale, sorry. I've been playing a lot of Kale. Caitlyn did pick up Gale Force, but it's not the most impactful when it comes to team fights. It's really good for chasing down enemies, dodging key skill shots, running away if you need to. But something to keep in mind, for those who don't know and don't build it because you don't play those champions, Gale Force does not go over walls. That is just something to keep in mind. It's really good in the open, doesn't work over walls.
Well, that 5,000 gold lead means this Caitlyn's going to probably be using this Gale Force in one way, and that's backwards, trying to kite the Dione and Jax. Almost certainly going to be
aggressive play coming in though.
Yeah, Malphite with a double ult. It's the perfect setup for them, really. They're not going to get a better setup than this 3-on-2. Here, Kane's going to be going on, trying to get as much damage as he can until Kai'Sa, almost getting him down. But Yone's going to be coming in like a hero, like a savior, like Luke, like the father, like he's coming up against the father. And
Indeed.
the reference works in a certain way. My hand. I lost my hand. How could you do this?
Oh, Bambino! Okay, there are some very key moments to point out there. Malphite died to the Ocean Drake. The Ocean Drake was procced in the middle of that fight. Malphite ran into the Dragon Pit. Meanwhile, Orianna is getting chunked out by the Yone. It was a 4-for-1. Oh, Ferris with a huge flash to avoid the shockwave and get the kill onto the Ori.
I'm slow clapping right now. That got me to do a physical show of appreciation for that play. Excellent job on Ferris there. Really championing the Kindred well, but really the whole team is playing out of their minds, and there's just leads all over the map, where at first it was just in bot lane, and then it trickled into the mid lane, and now it's just all over the map, including the 3 dragons.
It appears I'm having some technical difficulties as my view has frozen.
I just got a message that they just FF'd, and that's why it froze.
That is why it froze. Okay. Correct. Good to know. Yep. So, key things to point out at the end of that last fight. So, that last fight in the bottom side of the river, some very key things happened. Malphite did end up ulting, getting 2 players. That was huge. Huge ultimate, but the damage wasn't there to finish it all off quickly. It allowed for the rest of the teams to rotate. Kane got a good double knock-up, get more damage into the fight. The Braum was getting chunked, but the Kai'Sa was the main target. And the Caitlyn did end up getting the kill. However, that shutdown didn't prove much, as it ended up being a 4-for-1 and a Drake for the Bonobos main team. So for the main team, that put them in a really, really good position, one that the Academy team felt like they could not come back from. So they ended up FFing.
Well, that game certainly was going in one direction, and let's recap on how they did it. They were able to get first blood in the bot lane, took a risky but calculated dragon take, ended up getting first dragon there at the 530 mark, pretty much as early as you can get it, and took the Yone lead, the CS lead and pressure lead he was able to get in mid lane as Midson. As well as Ferris in the jungle on the Kindred, being able to maintain even CS, get to that critical 4 stack, as you were mentioning that, and was able to win team fights directly after he's able to secure that 4th. And Jax winning the top lane as soon as got the Trinity Force, really taking advantage of his power spike. So the boosted Bonobos defeating Bonobos Academy here in the first game, 1-0, best of 3. So we're going to see if there's going to be some different picks, or there's going to be some different strategies. This is going to be the same way through the. Well, it was a complete team effort on the Bonobos side. And
indeed, it was.
Let's see what the Academy squad's got. I want to see something else, right? There wasn't enough that worked there, right? That you keep the majority of that team, right?
Indeed, you need something that perhaps is much less aggressive. The thing about Caitlyn is Caitlyn is a very aggressive laner. She wants to push the lane. She wants to chip away at your turret. She wants to do she wants to be past the halfway marker on the map. However, that is also sets you up in a really bad position at defending for ganks, especially when you have a Malphite that's really only good at engaging. Not really good disengage, not really good peel, and the Malphite is only good at engaging after level 6 and when his ultimate is up. Malphite is such a feast or famine pick because he can either hit those huge ultimates, but if he misses those ultimates or you get too far behind by the time he hits level 6, the pick is just worthless.
Hey, Strafe, we're all set to go up in the next lobby, and
all right, I just need an invite.
Absolutely. We're saying that they weren't able to invite you for some reason. I don't know.
Right now? I have to restart my client. I don't know.
Sounds like it. I also don't see you on. I'm talking to you. I know you're a corporeal being somewhere on this earth.
Yes, I'm going to restart my... Oh, never. I don't need to restart my client. I have been invited to game. I think the reason why they... Whoop, that is wrong. That is... Ladies and gentlemen, that was the team composition that you are seeing right now. As we can tell, the boosted Bonobos main team did end up getting the best of them. Okay, and we are getting right back into the draft. Teams are wasting no time talking about what happened last. We are all set to go. Teams are still on the same side. To keep in mind, and now you can actually hear Rav throughout Champ Select.
Oh, hey, great, awesome. I have interesting things to say, and when I don't have that, sometimes humorous.
So, something that is interesting to me is that they're keeping the Yasuo ban away. Do you think that's more of a comfort pick that they're trying to ban away, or maybe they just don't want to see it?
I think some sort of deep-seated issues. Maybe someone has a recent psychological break involving Yasuo, and
that would probably be Vincent.
A little more comfortable, just knowing that he cannot be picked.
We already see the first ban coming out as a retaliation for last game, and that would be the Kaisa ban. They are going to keep the Hecarim ban, as Bonobos are actually going to ban Ezreal and Draven in the first rotation instead of the second.
See that? I think maybe a Caitlyn gets picked when I see that. When I see the maybe. 280 carry bans, I mean.
I would think maybe. But at the same time, Ashe is still a decent AD carry in this meta. Not the best, but she's still very decent. Caitlyn's in the same boat, which is why I think Ashe would still be really good. But at the same time, Jhin is still such a power pick. But he can easily be countered, and... Rav, I'm sorry, man. PTSD is gonna set in.
We're seeing it. They made a calculated decision. The Academy team waited to the last possible second to do their final ban. I 100% guarantee you they were talking about either Katarina or Yone. Who do we ban? And they chose Yone, recency bias. And now we're going to see Vincent on his famed Katarina. I believe that's his main. And we've seen a number of games in this season 1 with him on it, looking extremely well. Ooh. But who else is getting their pick is the Udyr jungler for the Academy squad. Ooh, maybe not a yeah, it's probably going to be the jungler. Warwick will probably be top lane, is what I've
So here's the interesting thing. We know that Udyr and Warwick are top and jungle picks, but we don't know for certain. We can make an educated guess that Udyr is going into the jungle, but you can't say for certain if Warwick is going top and Udyr is going jungle. But
I will bet on it. I will bet 30 imaginary dollars. Okay, it's some cryptocurrency that I'm inventing right now on the spot, and all
LAS bucks.
LAS bucks. Your faith in me that we're going to see Warwick top, Booter in the jungle, Akali mid. I am saying it now, and I'm saying it loud, and I'm saying it proud.
So here's something I want to actually point out. Akali into Katarina. Akali wins that matchup very early on. Akali wins that very early on. Why does she win it? Well, it's simple. Akali can easily get those quick combos off with the quick trade patterns, allowing her to actually put more damage in before Katarina is actually able to allow her knives to hit the ground and get those passives off. Otherwise, Katarina just has her Q, E, and autos. Akali has much more ease of access to her abilities earlier on, and even when you hit 6, Akali still actually works better because of her mobility to get out of the ultimate quickly. The Tristana pick is a very feast or famine pick for me.
I like it because of the bans. You have the two biggest counters to Tristana in Caitlyn and Draven banned out. So picking the Tristana here, really strong, and it's been doing really well in the new season. You know, preseason, season 11, just has been outperforming than in recent times.
So Tristana's so feast or famine to me because of the fact that she likes to jump in. The fact that she likes to jump in, if you jump into the wrong team composition, then you're just screwed. Because you jump in and you immediately get punished. You will immediately get punished if you just jump in. Meanwhile...
Well, that's very possible, but then you yell at the Morgana for, "Where's my black? Where's my black shield?" And then he like pings that it was still down for 5 seconds, and it's like, all right, well, oops.
But something to keep in mind, that Black Shield will not work against Vayne. Black Shield is only good against magic damage and CC. Well, it will work against Vayne's E, but that's just about it. Thresh, on the other hand, Morgana, I do like the Morgana pick into Thresh. Morgana is one of the best counters into Thresh. But something is scaring me about the Academy team. Something very obvious is scaring me about the Academy team. And let's play a little game. Can you tell what's scaring me about the Academy team's team composition?
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about psychologically. I was going to answer the big brother, little brother syndrome.
No, I'm talking about team compositions.
For the team? Yeah. Sure. What they have going for them? Wow. They do have quite a bit of mobility. They do have they both teams have quite a bit of mobility. You arguably have a better bot lane in the Academy side. So if you were to put resources into where you think you might have an advantage, mid and bottom seem to be just from looking at the champions. That's what I would do without knowing anything else about this team.
There is one thing where I think that the Boosted Bonobos main team has a distinct advantage on, and that is hard engage. There is a big lack of hard engage from the Academy team. They want to dive you. They want to go in. But if Warwick misses an ultimate, if Udyr can't walk in and hit the stun, if Akali can't hit that good flank, you don't have any hard engage to rely on. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have Lilia that's able to poke with her E, and if she gets a good sleep, she can use that to engage. You have Thresh that can hook in and then drop the cage. You have Vayne that can ult in and respond to a lot of these diving pieces and E one of them into the wall. If you use the Black Shield too early, then someone else is just going to get E'd into a wall and then just mowed down by Vayne. Katarina wants to dive into your back line. There are so many different you need to hit these to succeed that it worries me for the academy team. And there's a lot more reliability with the Bonobos team as that just makes me make the advantage over to them.
Well, that for game one was very one-sided, but we're having game two coming up in just 30 seconds. And wow, once again, gotta love all those champion arts. And no,
Indeed.
folks, this is not. You're not seeing double. These are both boosted Bonobos logos that you're seeing
Indeed,
here
they
in
are.
the semifinals. Yep, that's right. You're not seeing. That is true. Here at the LAS, great graphic in the middle as well, turning like the wheels of time as we go forward to our finals, which is going to happen, I believe, in 2 weeks from now. Is that right, Stripes? We're having
Indeed,
Clash
we
next
are.
week. And then,
Indeed, we are taking a break. We are taking a break because we don't want to interfere with Clash because we know a lot of people want to do Clash. So we are going to do it the week afterwards. So, and I do want to also push this out to everyone on everyone who is out there. If I can get everything if everything works properly on stream. There we go. Just making sure that all worked. It is the new season. I do want to wish everyone luck on their placement games if they haven't done it already. Hope you did well if you have done them. But if not, remember, the season lasts all year. You have plenty of time to get to the rank you want to get to. It's all about being smart with your games instead of just doing the same thing over and over again and hoping it works.
I got a new strategy for season 11, because I've been trying the same thing for the last number of seasons. I am going for Nigerian black magic here. The tribal magic of their peoples that they use to conjure the phone scams and internet scams that they are famous for in that country. The story of the Nigerian prince really did come from, well, I don't know, but that's why it is said as the Nigerian prince. But I will be trying some black magic in my ranked games, and I am expecting at least 8 and 2 in my placements. If I'm going to be conjuring not of this world forces, I need 8 wins.
I think I went around like 5 and 5. Can I also say something I absolutely hate? Look at Akali's runes.
Yeah, is there only one thing? Okay, just one thing.
Look at Akali's runes. I hate electrocute on Akali.
Electrocute.
I hate electrocute on champions that it's not supposed to be their main rune. I hate it. I play Akali, I play Katarina, I play Diana. I never run electrocute on any of them. Conqueror, Fleet Footwork, all works much better. Even Phase Rush from time to time works better in my eyes than electrocute.
Definitely on Diana, it works out. But perhaps the electrocute is just a build from another season. Maybe just going with an old school build and not with a more modern one, since Conqueror's been reworked, or there's now the existence of Phase Rush and these types of things.
But the other thing is, those 3 champions I named, all of them are melee champions. So it would still only take 6 melee hits or any number of autos plus ability hits that equal 6 to get there. So it's still not the hardest to stack on those champions. And plus, a lot of these champions really want to go for extended fights. Katarina, in top lane, we got an early level 2 gank, and it's already a flash forced out from the Darius. Bambino's not actually leaving the entire way. He is going to get hit with a W, but he will get a stun off. Just a little of trading back and forth, and we have a pause.
It's in the chat that I'm getting water and bread. So going biblical. Maybe we'll get some salt with that bread.
What
was it?
I think I know why he's
Lord
going
of, not
for
Lord
that.
Of the Rings. It's the newer one, the book series. I read the books. What is it? Everyone, dragons. It's with dragons. Lannister.
Song of Fire and Ice. I don't know.
Yes, yes, the series. Oh my god, I can't believe I can't forget. I can't remember what it's called.
It's Song of
Anyways,
Ice and Fire. That's what it's actually
yeah,
called.
sure, sure. You know, when you invite someone in and you have bread and salt, you know, you're supposed to get the protection of the house. You did not
Okay,
see at
we
the
are
wedding.
we are still waiting for the pause to resolve. Something I will talk about right now is okay. It looks like that they are ready, so we're gonna go back into the game. But something I do want to
Oh,
talk about right is
please. This is a
the
safe space. You can share with me. Go ahead. What do you want to say? It's just us and
I like
whoever else is listening. What is it?
I like the aggression coming out from the academy team, but at the same time, do you feel a little bit of deja vu?
I do. I do.
This is
I
exactly
do.
what happened in the first game, but Bambino is actually staying a lot longer than he did in that one. But they ganked up top. It didn't
He
really amount
loses a
to much.
lot. He loses a lot of tempo. I don't know if that's what you were about to say, but look at the
Yeah.
CS score now, 16-4. So a massive difference here for that level 2 gank. You lose out in a lot of pressure, and you got the flash, but only if you get a kill in top lane is it going to be worth it for all this tempo advantage you're going to lose with the
Especially
jungler.
against a Lilia. Because for those who don't know, Lilia is one of the fastest clearing junglers in the game. Especially when she starts hitting items. Then she'll just literally speedrun through her jungle. There have been times where I have
Big play in mid.
double thing, but big play mid is coming out, and it's going to be actually first blood onto the Lilia. It will be traded back in for the Katarina. It will be a 1-for-1 trade, but it's in favor, and Flash is coming out from the Lilia, and all that damage coming out, and it's going to be a 2-for-1, and a little action bot and top. Nothing really coming out of it, as Lofton does get a hook off onto a Black Shield Morgana.
And just for the viewers, that mid play was initiated by Udyr running into mid lane, flashing for the stun, did land it, but wasn't able to get enough follow-up damage to finish the kill out before Lilia coming in and cleaning up on that play in mid lane.
And look where Lilia is coming right now. She does get the E onto the Tristana, but Tristana's W is there and good enough to get her to safety. But it does
fighting back.
It does relieve some pressure for the Vayne. However, there's still a good-sized minion wave stacked up on the Academy side of the lane, so they're able to just get some free farm without putting themselves in too much of a risk. And it will deny some CS from the Vayne if they can force them off enough, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to, thanks to Thresh having some executes ready. Well, action top lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Darius getting the early advantage in that one. And he's going to have the minions pushing towards him. He's going to have that crash into Warwick, who's going to get a big CS lead. Let's see at the end of that wave in top lane how much he's ahead. But it looks like he's going to be about 10 ahead. And that's significant for 5 minutes into the game. So nice for Warwick getting that early lead here pre-level 6.
Indeed. That early lead will help him. But that early pressure help secure that scuttle over for the Academy team, or for the main team, my bad. And Udyr gets caught out trying to contest it.
I think that might be it. I think the jungler... Oh, he just AFK'd there.
We do have another pause as that issue has come up. Here's why, like...
Stripes, go ahead. But I have something glaringly obvious of what's happening in this game.
Well, obviously, the jungle matchup is very Lilia favored because Udyr wants to gank, he wants to stun, he wants to get in and start these fights and help lock down and just burst down these targets. Udyr is the only champion in my knowledge, that has all 4 abilities buff his auto attacks in some way, shape, or form. Whether give him a stun, and give him more damage, AoE, whatever, give him a bit of a shield, whatever. all of them just boost his auto attacks in some form. There's no real... So he has to get up close. There's no ranged skill shot. Like someone... or ranged ability at all. Like someone... like a Katarina. Like an Akali. There is no easy gap closer like a Warwick. Or some form of hook or stun like a...
They're going in on bottom
like
here.
a Thresh. They are going in on bottom. Lofton is getting ignited down, but Crushed is super low. That Silverbolt won't kill it, but the Flash Auto will. It looks like Shadows is trying to get out of there. The hook is just a little too far, and Silverbolt won't connect. Oh, and the auto doesn't get him, and he will get taken down by the turret. And that is going to be a kill, 1-for-1 trade down in the bot lane. The kill is going over to the Morgana and the Vayne, not the Tristana.
Oh! He's caught! He's caught! He's caught! He tried it in the first game and got away with it at 5 minutes. Now at 6 minutes, he tries doing the Dragon solo without the lanes pushing, without the wards.
Oh.
Gets caught, hands in the cookie jar, and this is a game we've got, folks.
As much as I hate Electrocute, that is one of the few instances that Electrocute is very helpful. Because you got the auto, you got the R, that's 2 abilities, and then the Q afterwards allows for the Electrocute to get procced and help finish off the kill, giving a good shutdown over to the Akali, who already has 2 kills, but that's 3 kills worth of gold. Oh, and a greatly timed E actually hitting the Katarina as she shunpoed over to that knife to get the AoE on the minions. But this Akali, if we look over to the gold right now, this Akali is actually very even, despite having a CS disadvantage, and a pretty significant one at that. But there is still a 700, 800 gold lead over to the main team, and that's mostly accumulated in the jungle. Because there's... Go on.
I have a prejudice to announce. I would like the Academy team to win this game and force a game 3.
Of course.
Like it.
We would all love that. We would all love that.
Here as casters, but I'm going to be open with this one.
Ultimate getting used by Lilia down in mid lane, getting nothing, and Link's getting very aggressive. Oh, the Q by Gang, keeping him alive, surviving through the ultimate. And he will manage to get out with his life.
Are you saying defense can sometimes outwin offense?
Well,
I'm watching Cobra Kai, and there's one of the dojos that's saying no. The key to a good offense is more offense.
Well, at the same time, Warwick did use an offensive ability that does have a defensive property, giving him a little bit of health. But he does actually manage to get out with his life. The bleed was still on him. The ignite was burning on the Darius, or there was no ignite. My bad. But Darius did get a turret shot. It could have been really one-sided. That really could have been really close, but Gang decided to just get out with his life and just walk away.
Oh, big play here in bot lane. Thresh is going to flash over and go ahead and leave the lantern for Ferris. And it looks like Lofton's just going to go down, so one's going to get traded back, but a 2-for-1. And Team Original...
Oh! Oh, the ignite at the end! The ignite at the end, making it a 2-for-2 instead of a 2-for-1. That double kill to the Lilia, double kill to the Morgana. Morgana already has Zanya's completed. And I do want to point out something. Look at the items that the mid laners are building. You normally see Akali build Riftmaker. You normally see Katarina build Night Harvester. But that's going to be an AD Katarina, and that's going to be a Night Harvester Akali, as we have some action in top lane, and Gang is actually just dominating this right now.
Yeah, he's got a big wave pushing towards Lynx, and so he's going to catch up on the CS here, lead here, but there's a big health advantage for Gang Twisted, and they're still pretty even in top. Neither has a kill yet. I'm going to be looking for who's going to get that first advantage, who's going to be able to get that Rift Herald, and who's going to take control of the top side of the map, because right now it looks pretty even all across the map.
Lofton's in trouble! Lofton's in trouble! Oh,
just
but the
barely
collapse
gets
is...
out. And Cat's going to look to try to finish. Morg's going to go golden, but it's only going to last for so long. Cat's going to leave out on the backside, and one going down for Team Academy. They're down just 1,000 gold up a dragon. This is an even game. The first game was not close. This game is so close. Just the lead for...
But they're going to go in for more.
And they're going to get it. And it looks like the Academy is able to come back.
Oh, the Warwick ult! The Warwick ult saving the Tristana's life, and they're going after. They're going after Crush, but he's not going to go down. But they're two going down. The Akali and Udyr are down. Crush is still going in. That's going to be a trade. Shutdown for the Tristana. It's a 4-for-3 in favor of the main team. But shutdowns came in, especially on the Lilia. Huge shutdown over to the Tristana. Gets her back in this game. Gets her back, but... And also, she might even have her mythic over it. And it looks like... Oh... Dorbs got so close to dying there. One more auto would have done it, but no, managed to get out with his life. And it gets the Vayne's flash out of it too.
Second dragon up on the map. First rift is still up there. There's still 2 minutes left till that coveted 14-minute mark. So 2 priority objectives up on the map, and the whole gold lead in the jungles. Still, Lilia is just a monster on this map. Really would need 3 people to be on her to be able to take her down consistently. But they do have advantages elsewhere on the map. This Tristana is getting farm. The Warwick does have a kill now and a couple of assists to boot with good vision in top lane. They have pieces they can work with. But this next 5 minutes is going to be so key in who takes over this game. And it looks like the decision's Dragon, and it's going to be Boosted Bonobo starting it.
It is going to be Boosted Bonobo's main team starting it. The E will find, and it's going to be secured. Black Shield does not come in quick enough. This shield crushed from the hook. Still gets stunned out of it, but the ultimate coming out from Gang Twisted, getting Vincent down again. Just not a fun time if you're a Katarina in this game. Something I want to also point out. Bonobo, the main team may be up, but they don't have any of the important objectives. And that's more of those more of Katarina's knives. Because
yeah, you could always use more knives. But they're transitioning up into the top side. So 3 for the Bonobos Academy now on the top side as Darius is just pushed in. And I wonder if he smells something funny. He's going to back here in this moment, and the objective trying to go over for the Academy, but this is so dangerous because if Lilia comes, she could legit 2v1 these two. She is so strong right now, and she's going to be picking up blue buff. Just use the smite charge, so not positive she's going to have a second. She's going to have that up in about 5 seconds. It's going to be oh so close.
It is going to be confirmed by the red team. Oh, but Lilia will go down, but the sleep does come through. The stun is there, but Vincent will get the kill over to the Akali. Bambino got a little too greedy, and that's a double kill over for Vincent. And those are some more of those Battle Queen knives. I really think the Battle Queen skin is one of the best skins in the game. I really, really love the skin. And that's going to be first tower over to the Tristana as well.
I gotta mention something. Tell me if I'm wrong, but you sound like a biased cat player. Like you are emotionally involved with this champion, and you.
Well, not as much as other champions like Kale or Diana, but Katarina is actually really fun to play if you have like a really good game with her. I actually got my first S with Kat today against Zoe. Quick tip: if you ever see a Zoe and you're playing Katarina, go all in on her after she uses and misses her E. She just dies. There's nothing she can do.
There you go. Tip of the day.
Tip of the day.
Against Zillion.
But anyway, back to the game currently at hand. You want to actually just look out for what's going on in the game. See where this gold is going, as we've been preaching. Now, it's a less than 1k gold lead, but where's all this gold? as we can see over by the chart, there is a 2k gold lead in the jungle over for the Bonobos. That's only in the jungle position. There's a 500 gold lead in mid lane with a double, with that double kill
that just happened. And then go ahead with the rest of the gold totals. But Ferris just stole the red buff from Vayne, the AD carry, as Vayne was attempting to take it. Went ahead, grabbed it right from his own AD carry. I like the confident play from this jungler who is so far up ahead. 7 kills, 5 assists. Go right ahead, but stole his own AD carries.
Oh, good defensive sleep there, but Ferris is going to want to go back in and get some more damage. Will it actually matter much? E misses and hits the wall, actually, but the Katarina will come in and find a good thing. Crush, using Gale Force to get away, but not quite enough. Adorbs is going in with the ultimate, will find nothing as they all manage to walk out and will just end up trading his life for the Udyrs.
Jungler is so smart, knew that was going to happen, stole the red buff from his AD carry, and then was able to line up all those slows in River, line up that triple for the team, and he's coming back! He went the right build, he went the tank build, and he's able to catch Lilia, being very aggressive, counter jungling, and here, being really aggressive, is Darius being able to...
There's the dangers of Darius. You don't want to get caught out when you have 5 bleed stacks and his ultimate is up. You will just get dunked into the gray screen. And that's exactly what happened over to Gang Twisted. First kill on the board for Lynx. That's bot lane tower gone. And it looks like Lynx is going to get a second tower for the Bonobos up on the top side.
So you don't want Darius to become like Shaquille O'Neal did in the 90s, where he was dunking the ball so much that they had to reinforce the basketball nets because he kept breaking them, all right? So you don't
want him to be like Shaq. Rift Herald is going to get a drop mid, but it's just going to be a lot of damage onto the mid lane turret. Knocking only down to half health. Akali not getting enough push in the lane to actually put any chip damage onto the turret, or any damage at all, for that fact. So the Rift Herald is just going to get some damage in the mid lane turret.
Dragon coming up. Yep. Mountain Soul. Boost of Bonobos are on it already. It looks like the Academy wants to try to contest. Akali is in the Shroud. Who's not going to go back in, but deep inside, Warwick is taking all kinds of damage, but Cat's going to go ahead and is going to go ahead and get out. We have Darius here on the back end, and that's going to be it. We're having a clean sweep. A whole 5-0 with the Dragon here for Luke.
You know what
story.
You know what the tragic thing is? That happened at 1830. There is no Baron up for them. They're just going to have to settle for a couple of mid lane towers. Now, this is where the jungle matchup is so very key, especially when you got a Lilia. Lilia is super, super strong and good at clearing her jungle. You don't want to get any sort of disadvantage against her, or else she's just going to punish you by just smashing you in CS numbers. She's slowed down recently because of all of the kills she's gotten. Vayne does steal the red buff because of jungle control. With those 2 mid lane turrets down, it opens the map up a huge amount for the main team. This gold lead has now shot up from a measly 1k over to around 6,500 right now. As we look at items, Lilia now has Demonic Embrace. Darius finished Stride Breaker. Katarina, Vayne, both finished Bork. Thresh, still working on his second item, but he's the support. That's fine. Meanwhile, something that's really, really missing from the Morgana is that Imperial Mandate, but...
The big team fight right in mid lane. Couple already going down for the Academy. Main team looks to clean up as Akali is going to run out of Shroud. Now Baron's on the map as it's a 4-for-1. Main team over Academy. And
I do want to point something.
At least another turret.
I do want to point out something massive that did happen. Matrix did get his R2 off and he caught out the Vayne. That is a lot of shutdown over to the Akali now, getting closer to finishing Lichbane. But it looks like it's going to be an inhibitor, as Bambino really can't do anything. He will get caught out, though, and that's going to be more and more kills coming out for the main team. As a double kill over to the Katarina. Looking for more, seeing what you can turn this into. You have a minion wave, you have the man advantage, and that's going to be a kill over to the Darius. That's 3 down for the Academy team. Lilia ultimate comes over onto the Akali and will find him. Darius does get shut down. Turret shots will finish him in the end, but that's going to be an ace over to the main team. They don't have a lot of minions here. Can they try and end? I don't know, especially with Tristan and Udyr coming back and their health bars not looking the best. They're just going to have to back away and just take the gold they got.
I think there's only one thing that could swing this, and this is if you got to remember the powers of the dark side. Let the hate flow through you. This is your parent organization, okay? Never do you want anything so bad as you want this now, okay? Channel this, bring it forward, and take what's yours.
But the only problem I see with that is the dark side loses in the end. Gangquest to getting caught out quite easily on, ulting to get away with the flash from Vayne and the counter flash from Gang, keeping himself alive. Now the Imperial Mandate is finished for Morgana, so that's going to be huge. But Vincent will get another kill onto the Akali. Lots of damage coming out from this Katarina. One of the things you gotta keep in mind with AD Katarina is that she still does a lot of damage with her autos, something that AP Katarina really doesn't do, because the only real things that amplify her autos is Lichbane and Nashor's Tooth. I am sorry, I blanked on it. But with AD Katarina, everything amplifies her auto attack because it just makes him stronger. Stun Morgana ultimate is not going to finish, and Varus will take down the Morgana thanks to the Dark Harvest proc. Now a 33-13 kill score.
These guys need to try something else. Okay, get this. How about double-sided lightsaber? Okay, like a staff. Okay, both ends lightsabers, and you could fight 2 Jedis at once with this weapon. Okay.
Didn't Darth Maul almost die and then actually not die because he came back in Clone Wars?
That was the greatest fight scene of the newer movies. I'm going to go out and say that. Even better than the Higher Ground fight scene in the final trilogy newer movie. But they need something here. 11,000 gold lead. Really, they don't have a lot of options. And really the options is that the parent team maybe feels sorry for them, like maybe doesn't want to finish them off themselves.
I don't think Vincent has any remorse. Bro. What are you saying?
You know, maybe it's like, maybe they can actually help their team grow by throwing this game and getting them a little bit of extra playoff experience so that they learn from this. Maybe they need a little bit of confidence. A lot of people are down in these COVID times. We got winter upon us, January. There's a lot of news stories out there, and we could be the change in us right now if we see this happen today. But it doesn't appear so.
It does not appear so. 3 members are down. 3 members of the team are going to take some Nexus turrets. 2 teams want to do Baron. Oh, but Matrix will end up taking down the Vayne, but Vincent, you just can't avoid non-targeted abilities in that Shroud. Vincent getting stunned out, but thanks to Bork, thanks to Ravenous Hydra, able to heal up through it, especially into a minion wave, and that's going to be GG's. Boosted Bonobos main team looking to pad the stats a little bit more as they try and finish out this game. Add on Baron. See if Vincent can get a 20 bomb out of it. I think minions might finish. Nope, never mind. Nope. Oh, denied by the Thresh. And that's GG's. That's going to be it. And that's going to be Boosted Bonobos taking... I can find the right goddamn screen. I'm already on it. I'm stupid. That's going to be Boosted Bonobos taking down their Academy team 2-0 in this semifinals matchup.
And I got to give two highlights here to the jungler in the mid lane, Faris and Vincent, who respectively have 37 and 35 kill participation out of 43. The 37 going to the jungler Lilia. So excellent performances here from this mid jungle duo, really stacking it on, only dying 3 and 4 times respectively as well. I got to hand it to both, but real solid performance in all areas of the map for this team now going to the finals. And we know who they're facing.
We do
Can we
know who
announce
they're
it?
facing.
Let's announce it.
Let's
I don't want to
announce
hold it
it.
in anymore.
Let's announce it in a special way. So right now on the screen you see the lineup in the Boosted Bonobos and the Boosted Bonobos Academy. But just to show that this is not a one-time thingamajig, they are actually going to be going against the MNG Direwolves in the finals. So we're going to see Boosted Bonobos and the Direwolves in the finals. Rematch, actually, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. They were in the Masters division, the division that I was in. We both casted these teams before. They always give entertaining, high kill, action, objective-based games. And
not to mention close games as well.
Absolutely. That's what makes them good. So this final we know is going to be a barn burner, and now they have 2 weeks to prepare for each other, and they got that nice clash in between that you can tweak these season 11 changes. If you're making a little bit of different changes to your champion pool, now's the time to do it. And with finals coming up, and with preseason, season number 2 also coming up, I believe in February. If you don't have your team together, get those teams in to Panzer over through the website. Do the team registration. Get on the Discord. Favorite the website and get those registrations in because we're going to be looking to have many quality teams in our league. We're going to be tweaking the rules up a little bit as we are a growing league. This is season 1, and I just can't wait to get this finals, to crown our champion, and to get started into season 2, which is coming right up and just next month.
Indeed. Before we end the stream, I do want to give some quick disclaimers about how everything has been handled in season 1 and how things are going to be handled moving forward. As we all know, throughout this entire season, we've had teams forfeit, drop out. It was predicted at this point because it's first season of a new league and we are trying out new. Season 1 was much more of a throwing something out there, see how well it works. It's a test of a proof of concept, if anything. Things are going to be handled a lot better going on into the future. We are actually shooting for few more teams. I believe Panzer said 21 teams for next season instead of 14, and we're going to be handling roster issues. We're going to be handling a lot of different other problems that happen in this season that we're going to try and fix for next season. And in addition, we are also going to be looking for some more casters to fill up our ranks instead of just having to listen to me and Rav all the time when we cast games. And with that, we also get to cast more games as well instead of just one week or multiple if we have someone free and doing entire slew during a heat.
Yeah, well, there it is. That's what we have it. So we have the Midnight Gaming Direwolves facing the Boosted Bonobos in the Grand Tournament Season 1 final 2 weeks from now over on the 24th on the Sunday. Look forward to that. It's going to be a best of 3. And I overall say the season has been a great success considering this didn't exist 6-7 months ago. So
I do agree with that statement.
pretty good so far, and the best is yet to come. So
I do have
thanks for having me, Stripes, and
I do
thanks for
have
the
one more
cast.
question for you, Ralph, before we get going. Something started very, very recently, and that was the high tier professional League of Legends season. Started with the LPL. LCK starts tomorrow. LCS starts the LCS lock-in, which is their kind of preseason tournament, on Saturday, or I think even Friday actually. But how much do you think what we see in professional league games, specifically the LCS because we're a North American based league, how much do you think that those games will influence the games in our league?
I think they're going to influence them a lot because I think we got a bunch of fanboys in our league, and I think they're going to be looking to their NA stars for their champion picks, and they're going to completely ignore the whole eastern part of the hemisphere as confusing and overpopulated. They don't understand what's going on there, and they're going to focus on what people are picking over here in the western side.
Even though
That's
the
the
West hasn't
prediction.
won, even though the West hasn't won Worlds since season one, and even then that was a question mark because Korea and China didn't actually have teams to throw at Worlds in season one. So, so look around, everyone. Maybe if you want to pick up a super hyper carry split pusher, you maybe look into LPL Fiora. But I think that's all for us. Wouldn't you say, Rav?
I would say that's right. Can't wait. 2 weeks. Be
Two
there.
2 weeks. Thank you all so much for watching. Good luck in your ranked games. Good luck in your placements, and good luck on your climb. Stay safe, wash your hands, and we'll see you on the Rift in 2 weeks. Peace.